Cuireadh mar chóir Liam sheedy cúnta brodúil amánaíochta a bhí an íste brí a chuir ar a bhain ar íst. Ba bheag aithne bhí an saol mór ach daróch sé sin sar a bhad.
His big thing was trying to build that family unit, really built that family and that unity.
Here's Kelly, faces the keeper! Tipperary goal!
The confidence that he put into you as a player, there's days you'd go out and you'd feel 10 feet tall.
And it's a goal! Noel McGrath gets the goal!
Nor hánig líimisteach cuir sé an tuchras a ríist sa fanéil.
He'd stand with anyone for what he's done between hurling and managing with Tipperary. He gave his life to it, really.
Agus atá séimh se cha sé bhailir an gúnta ní dhéann sé dearúd riamh ar na daoine chuig grimis.
I've a good few friends up there at this stage over the last 20 years. I take great strength from knowing that they're on my shoulder and they're with me. I can connect with them. I can nearly feel them. That's the connection that I still have with people that were very close and very good to me.
Is as baile beag I de Bordán Huig de Liam sheedy. Agus is sa fortrua atá cónaí fós ar Liam agus ar I grétháiriche John agus Mike.
Daddy, yeah. He had a cut of work about, hadn't he?
Absolutely. Oh, some mentor.
Yeah.
Did you see what's in the hand?
The Hurley.
Hurley, yeah. Very minute we were born, there was
Hurley went into the hand.
Hurley went into the hand.
Didn't do us any harm, did it?
And you know, Liam, if you could hurl in our house,
You were away.
you're away. We were always hurling, always had hurleys in our head, and Daddy was a fanatic for hurling. From the very minute we were born, he put a hurley in our hand, and we were always born to play hurling. But sad to say, life, it can be cruel. And when I was 13 years of age, I went to bed of a Sunday night. Liam, I think, was 2.5. And when Mother shook me of a Monday morning, Daddy had died Sunday night.
It was such a shock, you know. I mean, he was 47 years of age.
That was taken in the front of the home house above.
It's the home house, the side of the house, is it?
Yeah. He was a proud father. He was a proud father. Sure, I was... Or Mike, what age were you when he was born?
10.
10, yeah. So I was 12. So it was a big surprise in our house when you arrived. He was a proud father. He was a great man.
Still remember Father Maloney saying the first time when he came over, he said, I was in the playpen when he came in and Dad was after dying, and you know, you're looking at this child saying, God, how's he going to get through?
Have you any memory of him?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
One memory going up to Sholas the shop.
Right.
And the meat in the ground and he catching my hand.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can remember that walk and walking in the shop. Other than that, I don't really have memories of Dad. You know, you hear the stories obviously when you're growing up, and you know, when Dad was hurling and he'd clear a ball, you know, when to go quiet, you'd hear, you know, good man Johnny Sheedy bidded let the roar in, and he'd roar back sound woman bid. So that was their way of communicating. Really tough for my mum, you know. Obviously the three lads at the time, Jimmy, John and Mike, were a good bit older than me, so I was younger. So in one ways I probably lost one and gained three. First communion bite.
All the curls.
Where did it all go?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bit grey looking now.
But a very handsome child, all it.
Yeah. And school.
School's photograph.
You liked going to school, Ian, did you?
Didn't mind going to school.
Yeah. You always came home with a smile on your face.
He didn't like the day he went to the gael talk. I had to go up after 2 days and bring him home.
It was a really simple life. We had very little. There was only Mam. There was only the four of us. You know, Jimmy was the teacher. The two lads were in trades. I never got a chance to go to college. It was straight in to try and get employment and get a few pounds and get working. But you know, I got a great upbringing, understanding the simple life and understanding that you have to work for everything. No knee in the pants and like that. That was the times we lived in. You know, Mam just couldn't afford it. but anything she could afford, she would put it into us. And like the hurling field, it didn't matter how much money you had. If you could go out in that hurling field and you could play, then you raised heads.
Agus níor bhada gur haring Liam drawnóirí an chunta hain. Bhí sé mar chuide an bhiniúr Hiberdarn a chre clé ceannis na héireann in 1987.
We wouldn't have a history of having a significant involvement because of the size of our parish. So when someone does make the breakthrough and get involved in panels, it's a big deal.
Chance forth again.
It was quite intimidating for a young chap, Probably it was the game where if I had one game back again, I'd probably love to have that game back again, because I wasn't really mentally prepared for what was coming. For me, it was probably, walking in off the field, it was underwhelming because I felt I never brought the level of my performance, onto the pitch that day. And I said, right, if there's one thing I got to take out of All-Ireland Minor Final 1987, if I ever find myself back in here again, play the game rather than the occasion, because it's a big occasion, All-Ireland Final Day.
Gin Liam écht le fórne faoi féhéin agus sóisiún chunta agus bhíon chumar scéal gur bheith áit a banéal sínsir tíltige.
Going to be cleared out there by Brendan Kelly, but back from Tipperary is Sheedy, Liam Sheedy striking it in, a chance of a goal by the full forward.
He had a great underage career up along, you know what I mean? And I was expecting him then to sort of make the step into senior, but it didn't happen.
It's pulled on over there by Michael Connolly. Back again is Liam Sheedy from Red Covering for Tipperary.
Tip had done really well. They'd won the All-Ireland in 89. So there was a very established team there. A team that was hard to break into.
De ling na nóchadaí bhí Liam ina cheannar a club a bhuaig an chréibh bheanacht an géadú riamh. Seistam líonta an imil mad le furnan chunta deire hir, tháinig an gléach ó len géanar.
You get that window when you move from 21, like when you start to get 24, 25 and you haven't broken in, it's very hard. And I think it's equally in life, somebody's got to take a chance on you. Lynn took a chance on me, no question. It was a big chance. I'm not so sure there's too many lads make their senior championship debut at 27 years of age.
They can't get a puck at it. The tenacity of Liam Sheedy won the day for Tipperary.
A lot of players who have ambitions of wearing the county jersey, if they don't crack it in the early 20s, they become a little bit delusioned and their commitment falls off. But obviously Liam Sheedy had a dream to wear that blue and gold jersey and to hurl for Tipperary, and he hung in there.
Liam Sheedy.
Caig an stiffnú míonach faoi lehanat le chun leanú do roiig agus chun an kunstach sin a Liam.
And the round numbered 5-2 by Tipperary backs, one of whom Liam Sheedy makes the clearance.
For 99% of the Tip supporters, they're never in Clones before. It's always considered a football ground. But anyway, we really enjoyed the day anyway. We left early in the morning, we didn't come back late at night. Mother was with us and she was 10 foot tall. Her son was playing with Tipperary. That's all she wanted. She'd get into the stand, and when Liam would be playing, she'd stand up with everyone around her and she'd say, I'm Liam Sheedy's mother. And she was warning everyone, at your peril say anything bad about this fella,
Now Savage again. And Sheedy with a great clearance for Tipperary.
From where I'd come from, not making it, to finally, I suppose, getting out and wearing a Tipperary jersey in championship was a big moment for me. It was a big moment for the family. It was a big moment for the Port Row parish as well.
When the Tipperary cléthe ceannis na héir namach, agus de jasca an chúldoris, bíad na córs na béaldoris a bheith na gine.
Liam Sheedy from the Fort Row club. The whole place at Fort Row has gone absolutely hurling mad this summer. One-handed there by Liam Sheedy.
9 points to 3 up, we were in a great shape, but they got us back to 11-7 at half time, and the game was in a better pot. In fairness, we got 2 goals in the second half that gave us an extra piece of win.
John Lahey looking for his first score of his second score of the second half. In goes towards Cahill, and he's kicked it in. A goal by Liam Cahill.
We had a chance at the end, but great shot, wonderful save.
Here's Lahey at the other end. It's stopped, it's saved. It's a great save by Davy Fitzgerald.
These are the margins in sport, but for me, it was really, obviously it was, you're on the pitch, you feel so deflated, but when I look back and you actually said, okay, let's break down where you were this time last year and where you are today, and look at the progress you've made, I really thought, okay, we've come on such a journey.
Len Liam gimmer te seconde couple vechten cellen, ach ze vliegen rawiele, sie bliene tresto immer den gedoer, derde jas.
I've been lucky enough to play in All-Ireland finals with Tipperary at all grades. Would I have loved my career to span 12 or 13 years? Of course I would. But these things happen. I got some wonderful days in the Tipperary jersey, and days that I'll remember all my life.
Hug Liam fan manisticht, a caf trefse maar vanistor verden ieder weinig, agus maar raunoor, de een schienteren groente. Ik ga se koeig, en hem niet maar vanistor een venuren groente, agus in de rare blien se vast, wanneer er klein kennis te herne mag. Ach neer hoeske wil Liam tasten se vast, nager boelig bulle traum winter sheedy.
We were playing Wexford in Gordon in a challenge match. It was a half-11 throw-in, and next to my phone went off. And Jimmy, I had been in to see Jimmy in hospital the previous day, and the Six Nations was on. I said, no, Jimmy. I said, you don't need to be watching that match now. That ticker is only going to get excited. I said, calm down for the day, relax. He was due to be let home the following day, and I got the phone call to say your brother's in a bit of bother. He's taking a turn, so I just left the pitch and unfortunately didn't make it. That was March 2005. So yeah, that's tough. Jimmy and myself were very close. He was a teacher, and spent all the summers together, and we used to golf together, and we used to go everywhere together. So yeah, 47 as well, same age as Dad. So really big shock to the system, really tough. My mother, just really tough, and Liz and Deirdre and Connor, who were still, I suppose, really close to. It's tough, but is he up there looking down at me? Sometimes you wonder, do they influence even more when they're in disguise? And that's why sometimes in matches people see me and I'm like that. I do have an old word out there every now and again, just to check in. That's how it feels with me, is that they're on my shoulder and they're with me, and I can connect with them, can nearly feel them on the day of a match, and it nearly puts me at ease. So that's the amazing thing. It's a massive emotional drain at the time. It's really difficult to deal with. I don't view them as being gone. I view them being in a different area, but they're still with me. So, and I think that's very comforting for me. I'd love him to have seen, what's gone on in the last few years in person. No question.
Derek Liam Astresh and Creve of Wochtend, agus a Addis Vin a Manure Rahul, we for the Shincher Heberdarn in East Debris.
So there Casulik that near Gachrod, Egdol, I Dro Cart, I Dibberdarn.
from Croke Park and playing in Croke Park was becoming an obstacle. Confidence was very low with players, and I think Tipperary hurling as a whole was probably on the floor, for the want of a better word.
Treis de Babs Keating airí as an bost, chuig bord a chuntae I munín Liam Sheedy, agus ba bheag choríl a bhí timplan chuntae.
I would say the general reaction in Tipperary when Liam was appointed was underwhelming. He would have been relatively low profile, despite winning an All-Ireland minor title with Tipperary. He wasn't, for instance, a player who was a star in the blue and gold jersey. He didn't have that brilliant playing career to insulate him from criticism as a manager down the road.
Probably wasn't over-excited, and that's been straight. Our confidence was so low, we probably didn't know what was going to turn it around, and Liam was relatively an unknown in the inter-county senior management world.
There was an interview process. I was probably third in line. I have no problem in saying it. That's where I sat, and I didn't have this illustrious playing career that said you'd be an automatic choice. But I had a bit in my CV that carried a bit of weight. But I made it very clear that if I got it, I would leave no stone unturned in trying to formulate a team on the pitch and off the pitch to get Tip back being, I suppose, successful in pushing for major honours.
Dinach banisteoir Hiberdarn de Liam Sheedy a 2007 molachta laochra héman ó sé. Fear a bheith mar chraun tacaige ón lás an amach.
The connection struck really early in the time. It's a bit like a relationship. You probably know before go if you're going to click.
I didn't know Liam, but I knew his brother, and I said, okay, so I'll have a chat. So when we did start talking, I said, okay, this could work, and even at that stage I was thinking, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But also you get a bit of a vibe, you know what I mean? You get an energy, and I think one of the things that over the years definitely is that energy. We tend to distribute energy across to each other, and it continues right up to the end, I think.
I don't think I could ever do what I did without having Eamon, as we often describe ourselves, we're like two sides of a coin.
It happened imperceptibly in the sense that I think our body language sometimes told us all we needed to know during a game, that things were okay.
The one thing we have is we'll always turn, what people will look at being an awful down moment. We're already looking up, we're already thinking about our way out. That connection where we can comfort each other and we can sort it out together, and we can come back with a plan that says we're going to be bigger and stronger at the back of it, because our belief systems, that's the one question. We look at each other and say, do you still believe? Yeah, I still believe. Yeah, okay, we're good. So if we believe, they'll believe.
Agus bheith an muín san riachtanach, agus iad a ddíirige bheith chóchéim leis an bhirn a bar riamh.
We knew where the bar was, and we felt the bar was gone to a new high with Kilkenny. When I come in, they had 1-6, they had 1-7. We're heading into 2008, and the bar was up there. And I was of the view, they ain't coming back to us. So the only way we got to do is we got to get to their level. And one way we've got to get to is that they play at an intensity that we right now aren't conditioned to get to. I had to take them somewhere they hadn't been in a number of years. Anything or anywhere we asked them to go, they went. And they came back and looked for more.
Our physical preparation in the winter months of 2007 before the 2008 season was something that I probably hadn't seen. There was a marker being laid down. I think once that was happening, we kind of got the sense that definitely this is going to be different.
We knew there's something building here.
Lean an dearfacht ar aige goige mún, agus cref an chuige ina bócacha, thugad ar aige cheann áras, unad nar a búirtacáin le 8 mbliana.
We hadn't been beaten all year, so you're thinking that look, all the boxes are ticked. And all of a sudden we're in, there's a few minutes gone the game and we're 5 points in the down. I'm saying, where is this after coming from? But when I look back on it now, we were probably physically prepared and we were very skillfully prepared. But we really hadn't thought about what goes on in these players' heads when they step into an arena that they haven't been successful in.
There was a fear maybe of not performing in Croke Park that was there with players and with the squad, because we didn't have the results to back it up. We had a lot of dark days coming out of Croke Park.
And the whistle has gone, and Waterford have qualified for the All-Ireland hurling final under the management of Davy Fitzgerald.
It was a big shock to the system. We were Munster champions, hadn't been beaten. I swore to myself, coming over there, if ever we get back in to the stadium, we'll be primed in every aspect, because that'll never happen to us again.
Bhí an ré a seolta na dibreacha gábhíle san é, agus freitheadar chluthe ceannis na hÉireann go héasca. Bhí sé nám de sheedy áileach an ráidir an chortha leis na cait.
If you ask me what was the greatest match I was ever at, I'd say that 2009 hurling final was some game of hurling. And we'd thrown everything at the Cats.
Bhí plannig sheedy agus an bua ismó bhí aige an bhí sé ná an plan a curry bhaim, so bhí an glúiseacht timpeall na háta.
Beléir go raibh muíneacha as do féin sinna céadúil bhí sé gimart comá, bhí an mind comá, bhí imróí maithacha, agus bhí siad, bhí an seantip a rais mar a deafar. Fast as greibh siad níos fearnach go cuinnig, but she's ní bhfuil siad na scórna.
Catches it really well, it flies through the air into the half forward. That was a wild swipe there. It's a red card.
We went down to 14 men, they got the penalty, and it was just, I wouldn't blame the penalty. It was probably the next play after that. We were tuned out and feeling sorry for ourselves maybe after that penalty.
In for Comerford, it's in the back of the net, 2 in a row!
It was just devastation, of a build-up, of I suppose Tip's first All-Ireland since 2001 being in, and being so close and yet so far. It's a hard place to be, and that day was a very, very tough place to be. Bodies just was thrown over the dressing room, lads crying, not knowing if you'll ever get back here again.
I still remember going up in the lift, and I was with some of the players, and our wives are there and crying in the lift. It's awful when you lose in All Ireland. You just feel so empty.
In Ainoin na Caileúna, bhí an mórta sarnáis na mhánaíocht Tiberdarn. An bhíon dar giún áfach, Jodísteach go ngayon úr rim hobist.
Everyone involved just wants to land on the bus in September above in Croke Park and drive in and say, right, now we're on again. But there's an awful lot of heavy lifting that has to be done, and we'd been together a while, and standards can slip somewhat. We didn't have a good league campaign.
Everybody was saying that it was going to be a typical Kenny All-Ireland final, but you had to get there. And this was going to be a stumbling block for us without us even knowing that, because we were listening to this, and complacency does set in.
Welcome by the banks of the Lee, Munster Hurling Championship, first round, Tipperary against Cork.
Níl cultí búgara, sinna difriol, búgara ná sin, ní raibh si go má. So raibh si anna bhar greibh héan ceanna búigi dé gáhíleach san é cap gacéine sa compa agus Loch Lanúna, well be mi a rashirísh gan stró. Agus bhí coci fannachtdóir beidir a barci cuimh, agus an bhí si don bhí coci géirig sais cap de bhúnadóir.
People that I felt should have known better, were very strong in terms of, damning reports on the team and the group. And our view was simply, are they right or are we right?
Further in Fragra, Sokla Karu Kanish in Agna Gali.
We were leading by 2 points with a few minutes left. Ollie Canning got injured and it kind of stalled our momentum, and Tipperary reeled off the last 3 points of the game. And I think there and then in that moment, Tipperary could just have easily have lost that game as winning it. And if they had fallen that day, it might have been the end of Liam as Tipperary manager.
Paul Burke looking for a player outside. It's Lark Corbett having to go back, trying to make room, getting it away, getting a shot in and putting it over the bar.
It was a huge moment for the group, huge moment for me. I was probably out of a job. It was over for me, so getting that point. Pa Burke, never forget him for it. He's the last man I had to put in for a throw in, and he went in and he won the throw in, got the ball back to Larry done a ring of Kerry over the bar, and we won the match by a point. And I suppose we just took off from there.
Bhuineadh ar an cluiche ceannaisirmeacht an tarna bliana sa chéile agus an freasúra céanna chomá. An báutasa, bhí ualacha iompar ag na cait.
We were hearing stories of 12 to 14,000 people watching their training sessions in Nolan Park, and that would be untypical Kilkenny. And I think Cody mightn't have acknowledged it publicly subsequently, but maybe they all got caught up in the hype, and it was difficult not to be. There was such media coverage of it, there was such excitement in their own county that they were vulnerable.
Tarlín sé na blinta sin hí na Luchlantic teachraigh na tréáil an tamar fad, so is rud nádúra ach ní raibh sé nádúra go raibh 10,000 ann. So bhí sé anna at ar fad I mo hón féin ní raibh mé róch an pórdach leis. It suited us very, very well that time. We were hidden away in Thurles, and nobody, I won't say not giving us a chance, but I suppose a lot of people just were focused on one thing only, and that was that Kilkenny were going for the 5 in a row.
It was set up for us. There was a lot of play. Obviously, there was a few injuries. There was massive crowds attended our training session, and we were just in the trenches, preparing to the nth degree to get ready for that big day. And we had all that hurt going up in the bag this year, which we didn't have the previous year.
See history made this afternoon. Either the first 5 in a row or a drive for 5 blocked for the second time in under 30 years.
Bhí gachgóid I gceart có ar an lá agus is fear an ar fad go bhíonn gachgóid I gceart I gach céin bhainisteoir ba measa mé Liam Sheedy lá sin go raibh gachgóid I gceart.
Shane McGrath wins that. Huge one down towards Lark Corbett. He's got it. He's scored. A goal by Lark Corbett.
We didn't take our chances in 9. When they got the chances in 10, the way they played for each other, Garrod's pass, Noel's catch, hand pass to Larry, goal. The teamwork that they played, it's like as if they were all connected to each other. Even watching Noel and Larry and Owen when they came out, and they knew the job they had to do.
It was probably one of the worst goals ever scored in an All-Ireland final, but the feeling of just scoring a goal for your team in such a big game, and looking back on it now to be able to say you scored a goal in an All-Ireland final is a great feeling.
That ball is caught inside there by Patrick Marr, and it's swept in the end, and it's finished in the back of the net, and there is another one for Tipperary and for Liam Sheedy.
The glúiseacht dochrete go statosa de gná bhíomar ag marcáil ó zonal marking in slíte agus ní raibh na Tipperary ag fannach sa zón sin bhí siad ag glúiseacht an tamar fad sin an slí a bhuaigh siad an cléithe sin in our era.
Gorgeous moment seeing Benny Dunn coming on, his family, it was tough the year before. Seeing his Dunn family, hugely proud hurling family, sitting in the Burlington, and Benny after being sent off, and he goes in 10 and he smacks the ball over the bar, and he just went, oh my God, what a moment.
He slips it in there. Once again, they hold the possession, and Benny Don sees it drop over the crossbar. What a difference 12 months can make.
I was beside Mary at the match, and in a quarter of an hour into the second half, I said to Mary, I have to go out. Kilkenny had it brought back to 4 points, and I said, if we get bet again today, I just won't be able to handle it. She said, stay where we are, John, stay where we are, we're going to win this match. And win it with Julie Dunn.
It's all over, and Tipperary have won the All-Ireland dramatically. A superb, fantastic display by Liam Sheedy's team.
Just completely like polar opposite, because we'd experienced all the downside of losing one the previous year, and it really makes you appreciate getting across the line the following year, no question.
I'm sort of aware of Tipperary hurling for 40 years. I don't think an All-Ireland triumph has ever been greeted with such celebration in our county.
Agus ag an deachta bhaile an uair le saoile, tugadh cuireadh de spéisialta.
I can remember ringing John late in the week that week. I said, John, I really think we're going to get across the line here. I said, look, Mam's in Rady, she mightn't get a chance of seeing Tip win All-Ireland again. And I said, should we try and bring her? And he said, no, John was always the one. John was the man that made all the decisions. So John said no. And he said, look, we'll leave it run. She said she'll be at home. She'll have the candle lighting in the bat. I don't know how we still had the bat. I don't know how there's not holes burnt in the bat, because every day we ever went out, there's a blessed candle lighting in the bat. That was her ritual. So she stayed at home.
And Liam rang me and he said, John, you'll have to bring Mother down to Thurles for the homecoming. She'll sing to the crowd. God, Liam, I don't know if she's able. I'll ask her anyway, said I. So I went home to Mother. I said, Liam, where's my coach? She said. She was in the back and the team was being introduced, and she'd be, am I singing now? Am I singing? Give it a minute now, Mother, said I, you'll be on. And out she went. To the day she died, she said, I sang before 80,000 in Thurles. She says, everyone can't say that.
She wasn't exactly Dolores Reardon-esque, but she still maintains that she sang to more people than Dolores Reardon did when she was singing.
And to my mother, Bidge, I'm going to ask her to round off my speech. She sings a song called Happy Are We All Together. So if you all join in and give her a help out.
Happy are we all together. Happy are we one and all. May our lives be full of pleasure. May we rise and never fall.
Fair play to Liam, he gave her that honour, because she deserved that. She reared him from that height to the man he was on her own, and she was some woman. She deserved every plaudit she got. I was delighted for her. She really got a great kick out of it.
For me, it was a lovely moment, because it was like a reward for everything over the years.
He's a truly magnificent man, a magnificent manager, the great Liam Sheedy from Portrush.
Ach le líongan cheiliúra in Anna Straine, the ahrú tacht.
I mean, the decision was made in the middle of June that I was off the pitch. I didn't tell anyone. I got a job that had me covering the country with Bank of Ireland, thrilled to get the promotion, but it moved me from a provincial role in Munster to a national role covering the whole 32 counties. I felt it was the right time. If it was to be, we were leaving him in a really good place. And it's never an easy decision to step away, but I loved every minute of it. But I also knew that if we were to lose the Galway match by a point, I probably would have been surplus to requirements. So that's the way the world works.
Bhí Liam Sheedy treis corn bhacára a thuirtar naisce Tiberdarn agus treis eisling na seannaid cíl chuine escris chomá. Buinach siar as an loch leanúna mar sin nuair a deire se sa fost díreach in éigen bhua.
It's in shockwaves through Tipperary.
It was devastating. It was devastating. Even thinking back now, like it was like a death, really. Like.
Rinne sé sár job, beidir gur raibh an job is Jackra déanta, bhí an féin bhuinín arás, so yeah, is rud Jackra a hiiscintí ná réire.
Like the Higgin Gor, post show, ní léana a le fáil, it's amateur, agus an méid úr de click of féile choristeach, agus gael in a bhún duine, bína duine ag géir an loch leanúna ag géir go leanach duine raig, but ní gádóibh an obaríanamh.
But there's never an easy time or there's never a good time, but at the same time it's nice to go out on a high. It's not so many people that get the chance to leave a job and leave it at a really high place.
Níor a bhfad go raibh Liam thar naisir a barc tréineála áfach, an uair seo mar fréineálaí dá chlub an Portrua agus gur thar John mar bhainisteoir.
Liam started by committing I might do 1 or 2 nights a month, and then in typical Liam fashion when he got in and got involved it was 4 nights a week.
Agus an bhliain sin don géadú riamh chre an Portrua chluthe ceanna semána Tiberdarn thuig.
Liam had a huge say in that. He gathered all them boys and trained them hard, and they all bought into what he was doing. And as I say, we're the second smallish parish. We'd be picking off of maybe 700 or 800 people. And to be at the might to me Barra Greyhounds. So it was as good as baiting Kilkenny. Great day. Great day.
He had a big influence in them making history in that North Tipperary final. And when I started off hurling with Laura, I could never imagine